Hello, everybody. This is Uppish, and this is not going to be one of my normal happy-go-lucky, heavily edited gameplay videos. Today is this video is going to be it's going to be on a very controversial subject. It is going to be on something that you guys probably wouldn't want to hear from me right now, but it's something that I'm going to have to do. I have to talk about this to get this off my chest, okay? Right now in the United States, something very, very bad is going on. Something horrible. Something that should not be allowed to happen. Something absolutely atrocious is happening. At this moment, during the pandemic is still going on, right now we have rioters all throughout the United States running around, destroying stuff, just causing absolute havoc. Why? Well, it's because it all started with the death of a guy named George Floyd. Most of you, if not all of you, already know who George Floyd is, but if you don't, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a point. I'll let you know. Basically, George Floyd was a black guy that was he was unlawfully murdered by a cop, and not only a cop, but his assistant buddies as well. Well, or a couple of his fellow policemen. Well, after this guy was, I admit, unlawfully murdered, basically horrible people, terrible people throughout the United States are now running around destroying businesses of not just white people, but black people too. Running around destroying businesses that these people probably can't afford at all to be able to repair damages on. Can barely afford at all to be able to pay back up the amount of money that the merchandise was. Who knows how much money all these businesses put into just for buying the building alone and keeping the business open. I don't know if you guys realize how much it costs to keep a business open. Keeping a business open for people that aren't super freaking rich is extremely, extremely hard. First you have to deal with the basic stuff every normal person has to deal with when they own a home. You have to deal with rent. You have to pay for rent. You have to pay for electricity. You have to pay for water. You have to pay for what else do you have to pay for? Well, that's the basic things that you need for business. Rent, electricity, and water. Then, when it comes down to owning a business, you have to frequently pay off your licenses to have this business open. And before you can even open this business, you have to go through legal processes. You have to go and do so much just to be able to open the business. Then you have to go and you have to pay for rent, you have to pay for bills, you have to pay for food, you have to pay for goodness knows how many different licenses. Because I'm sure you need to have more than just one license in order to have this business open. And white people aren't the only people that have to deal with this. If black people want to open a business, they have to go through the exact same thing. and everybody who is not rich as hell has to basically has to scrounge for as much money as they can in order to be able to do the things they want to do or need to do. Everybody. I myself, all of my disability check, the only reason why I'm able to keep this nice apartment in a nice neighborhood, the only reason I'm able to afford this is because I get a monthly disability check. I get a disability check once a month, and that is the only reason why I'm able to have this apartment in such a nice neighborhood, near family members that honestly care for me and help me in my time of need, in times of need. Not only that, but they also help me get most, if not all, the furniture in this apartment. This next thing, like seriously, this whole situation in the United States is not okay. Like, all the rioters, the rioting is bad. These people are terrorists. The people that opened up this community in the middle of the United States that is supposed to be separate from the United States. Dead center, well, right inside of the United States, considered not to be United States. This place is nothing but literally a city of terrorists. These people are anarchist terrorists. And to be wandering around, to have claimed this part of the city, this part of the country, that had nothing to do with these people. These people had nothing to do with the building of with creating the buildings and getting these skyscrapers, these tall as hell buildings. They did not help build these buildings. If anything, the only thing they did was get a low-paying job in this city. And yet, here they are, laying claim of this city. I'm gonna tell you all right now, I am a lifelong supporter of Abe Lincoln. Now, I don't care what anybody has to say about other presidents. Yes, there have been other presidents, and they've also done something good. But in my opinion, there will never, ever, ever be a president as good as Abe Lincoln was. And now, people are destroying Abe Lincoln statues. Not just Abe Lincoln statues, even. Statues of important figures in America's history, whether bad or good. These statues were put up and were left there in memory of these people, bad or good. If bad, then it is to remind people not to do what these people did, because these people did bad things. However, Abe Lincoln, you will not find anywhere a single bad thing about Abe Lincoln. No proof that he had slaves. No proof that he owned prostitution rings. No proof of anything bad. Instead, you get a story. If you hear about his story, you know that Abe Lincoln was one hell of a tough freaking man. And even though he was one hell of a tough man, he was still kind. He still helped America. And not only that, but he was also he was one of the biggest players in abolishing slavery. And the fact that people are defacing his monument, not just a monument, but people are defacing several monuments of him across the United States. Did Abe Lincoln ever do anything against black people? Did Abe Lincoln, is there any kind of proof that Abe Lincoln ever held slaves? No. You cannot bring up a single case, a single definitive case, single definitive piece of proof, to prove that Abe Lincoln ever had slaves. Just, what is, if Abe Lincoln was still alive today, what would he say? What would he tell our generations? What would he tell us? Abe Lincoln is likely turning in his grave right now at the sight of what people are doing now. He would outright say that he is disappointed in us. He would outright say that he is he would be absolutely devastated at what we have done to the country he tried to build up. The country that he tried to better for not just white people, but black people too. I'm the type of person that honestly, if Abe Lincoln was still alive today, the Abe Lincoln, I would shake his hand. I would tell him thank you for your service to our country, because he was such a huge part of the country's growth. And what people don't understand these days is we were literally in the best situation we had ever been in. Until this coronavirus thing happened, until wherever the hell the coronavirus started coming out of, whatever hole it crept from, we were in the best place we've ever been in history. But you still have people that think that's not enough. Still people that think that we're in a horrible place. No, we're literally in the best place. We were literally in the best place we have ever been in. Slavery is at an all-time low. Literally, slavery. Everybody in America thinks slavery is bad. Everybody that lives, almost everybody that's a normal person, everybody that wants to live a normal life and wants everybody to be able to live a normal, happy life, they all want to live. They just want to live their lives. They want to live happy, long lives. And they want their children and their grandchildren and their lineage to live long, happy lives. But no. Now we have people running throughout the streets, burning down businesses, taking away the possessions of homeless people, people that have nowhere to go. They have no money. They take away the only stuff these homeless people have, and they burn them. I've seen a video where people literally took the mattress of a homeless guy from him and burned it in the street. Him and one of his other homeless buddies had to drag it into the street and had to literally stomp on the mattress in order to get the flames out before it burned too much of the mattress off. And it was already, you could tell that it was already, by the time they got it out, it already blackened the side that you could see on the camera. And the guy came over, looking at the camera, talking to the cameraman, saying, What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, he was not happy about it. You can tell by the look on his face that he is distraught, that he is angry. And in all honesty, he would have had a right to have hurt somebody, because they are literally taking away one of the only things he has left. One of the only things left that he has to have any kind of comfort. because he doesn't have a house over his head. He cannot afford to buy enough food for a day, a week, at least. And you have all these people blowing up businesses for people that already can't afford. I already talked about this earlier, of course, but people are running around these cities blowing up buildings, attacking police, attacking normal citizens, simply because they don't believe in attacking citizens that a lot of them simply because these people don't hold the same beliefs as the people that are attacking them. I myself understand, and I completely agree with these cops that killed George Floyd going to prison, okay? However, that does not mean that people have the right to run throughout the United States and blow up random people's businesses, burn down random people's homes. I've even seen a picture online where people have literally burned horses to death alive. These horses were trapped in literally a livestock hauler. One of those, iron boxes that farmers carry their livestock in. I've seen an image of this where literally the inside of this livestock carrier, the inside of it is burning. It is smoking. There's smoke pluming out of the windows, and you can see the light and flickering of fire inside of it, but you can't see the animals. Is this what America has come to? Is this what Americans are now? Heathens? Did we not come... Literally, did the British, did people from around the world not come to America to get away from stuff like this? Is it not the American dream to be able to come here, start up your own business, raise a family, and that family be able to live long, happy lives, and you being able to live long, happy lives alongside them? I have several uncles. I have 2 uncles and an aunt that have literally worked in the workforce. My blood uncle, my great uncle, who is still alive to this day, my grandfather's brother, he is still alive today. He has literally gone to Korea and Afghanistan, and I'm pretty sure maybe even Iraq, and fought for our country. He has literally gone to these places, and you would not know the atrocities that he went through. Even to this day, after more than 30 years of coming home, of having been home, he still has PTSD after that situation. And I have another uncle. Both my aunt and uncle, both of them, they both still are on the workforce. Do any of you know what police have to go through on a daily basis? A daily basis. Would you be able to even remotely handle what police have to go through on a daily basis? You don't even know what they have to go through, and yet police are being scrutinized over the tiny little majority of people that are going and attacking and doing these bad things and using their role as police to act like they're all high and mighty and have power over others when they don't. The majority of police, more than 95% of the police workforce are good people. Or at least if they're not good people, they're decent people. Decent, normal human beings working just to be able to afford to put food on the table and to be able to protect you and me. you don't even know how important the police are. Police, firefighters, military, people in the military, people in the Navy. You don't know how much these people have to go through on a daily basis. The police don't go outside of the country usually. You know why? Because there's already enough problems inside of the United States that's going on. What do you think will happen if we take away the police force? I don't think we have enough military to be able to cover the entire United States, which is why we have police and firefighters. The police literally have to deal with more than just heavy crimes. But police have to deal with shootings. They have to deal with murderers. They have to deal with mass murderers. They have to deal with mass genocidal maniacs. They have to deal with drug addicts. They have to deal with more than just that. They have to deal with more than just drug addicts. They have to deal with drunk drivers. They have to deal with domestic disputes such as husbands beating their wives or wives beating their husbands, or parents neglecting their children. Or they have to deal with people going to businesses and picking up guns, going to banks and trying to rob banks or robbing businesses. People robbing people at gunpoint, thieves, people that steal purses from old ladies and run off. People that steal medication from people that need it. Then they have to deal with the smaller stuff, such as stray animals running around in the city hurting people. Like deer. Maybe sometimes they have to deal with like random animals like deer running into the city because they risk running into shops and breaking things. Police have to do so much, guys. So you guys don't even know the limit of like how far police have to go to make sure that the laws are upheld. And these people scrutinizing the laws. Yes, there are laws that could be changed. There are antiquated laws, okay? Yes, there are some things that can be improved and changed. But trying to abolish the police, abolishing police stations, all that's going to do is kill people. That is going to allow all these horrible people doing horrible things to continue what they're doing. All these movements are doing, don't get me wrong. Before I say anything, don't get me wrong. I advocate for the rights of black people. I advocate for anyone's rights, okay? I advocate for I believe in anyone's rights. Black people, white people, Asian people, Mexican people, Hispanic people. I support your right to protest. However, I don't support the riots. I don't support all these people running around, hurting and killing people and destroying businesses. I don't support the abolishment of the police because I have two family members that still work in the police force. They are so important to me. And hearing that they have to go out into the streets while all this is going on, they are still doing their jobs. Today, they just went on a weekend. They just went on their weekend. They had a weekend off, Saturday and Sunday. They had a weekend off, and they decided they would go and spend some time together alone. And now today, they had to go and run around these dangerous streets again, protecting people and stopping violent crimes. My uncle, like I said, he was in the military, and he is even, to this day, he is messed up in some kind of way. I mean, he's still sane. Don't get me wrong, he's still a sane person, and I love him to death, but he still has PTSD to this day. And here people are taking these people's, the cops and the people who work to protect us as, you take it for granted. People are taking this for granted. When you don't know how much these people have to work for you, for me. And then you got these people, like these crazy Antifa people and Black Lives Matter people. And like I said a minute ago, don't get me wrong. I completely support your right to protest, because the George Floyd situation was not okay. That guy did not deserve to die, even though, yes, he did have a criminal background. He did not deserve to die. These days, we're all privileged. Not white privilege. White privilege is a fudge and myth. Privilege, normal privilege, yes, that exists. But white privilege, no. White privilege does not exist. White privilege is a falsehood. Privilege, normal privilege, yes, that exists. But white privilege, no. You can't have privilege over your skin tone. After all, I was born white. As you can see, my skin's white. I'm pale as a ghost. However, I was born with autism. I was born with I had a limp freaking eye. My left eye was limp. And the fact that I'm able to see out of it at all is still surprising to this day. Because my limp eye, this was corrected through surgery. If they didn't do this, I probably would still have that limp eye to this day. And that limp eye didn't just mess with the vision in my left eye. It messed with the vision in both my eyes. So, not only that, but I can't see the night sky. When I go outside, I don't see stars. The night sky is dark to me, almost pitch black, besides a little bit of lighting from the moon. I don't see stars in the sky because I have night blindness, and if it's too dark, I can't see at all outside, unless there's some kind of light to illuminate the area. The only way I'm able to get around my apartment at night is if there's some kind of glow, or because I'm so used to walking around my apartment that I know where stuff is. If I don't have a light turned on, if I was just walking into a building while it was pitch black, I would whack my face headfirst into a wall or something. Do you call that privileged? Is that white privilege? Does my white privilege apply there? Does my white privilege apply to the fact that I have to have a disability check? That I require a disability check in order to live separate from my parents? No. White privilege does not apply. You know why? Because white privilege does not exist. Anyone can have privilege. Anybody. However, privilege over your skin tone does not exist. And the fact that these people, all these crazy people, are running around, destroying things, treating people like acting like heathens, and hurting other people in their homes and their businesses and their families. And not only that, but you also have these crazy people online making it out to be like just because a person is white, they throw out white privilege. Or they call someone a fascist, or they call someone a bigot, when they don't even know the actual definition of the words they're using. Instead, they're using these words as a way to demonize people, a way to shut down conversations, and as a way to attack people's character and identities, which is not okay. It is never, ever okay to do something like that. It is never okay to hurt somebody. It is never okay to attack somebody. It is never okay to ruin someone's life over something they might have said 5, 6 years ago when they're likely a very different person today. And yet here we are. Here we are in America. Here we are. America is dying. America is falling. And what would the people that sacrificed themselves, what would they say? What would the people that died for us, the people that went out and left the country and died on a battlefield, being bombarded with grenades, missiles, and freaking cannon fire in the past, heck, being shot at to death. Not just that, people being kidnapped, taken from the front lines and tortured in enemy territory by the enemy. People who have literally lost family. People who are now having their memorial sites desecrated. People spray painting graffiti on their memorial sites. What would they tell us? What would they say to us? They would all be disappointed in us. Our forefathers who created this country, who created these laws to protect us. And the people who fought for our country, fought for our freedom, fought for our safety, and died. Not just out there, outside of the country, but also in the country. The police, the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of police officers that have been killed on the line of duty by people committing heinous acts and crimes. What would they say to us now? What would they tell us? They're all likely turning in their graves right now. Who knows? They are probably screaming at us right now. And please, don't take this the wrong way. I am not advocating for violence. I am against violence. What I am up for, what I am advocating for, is for people to protect what is theirs. If someone is coming after your family, if someone is coming after your business, protect it. If they are coming at you with knives, bats, guns, then protect your business, your family, with knives, bats, and guns. But I'm not advocating for violence. I'm advocating for everyone to step up and protect what is yours. To protect the United States. Do what you can to help the people of the United States. Go into your communities and help. Feed the homeless. Go out and help the community. Pick up trash. Cans, bottles, the weird plastic rings that come off of soda cans that people throw out. Styrofoam cups. Go out and clean up the trash. Wash your streets a little bit. Wash the sidewalk. Sweep the sidewalk. Go out and help somebody. Help an old lady cross the street. Help an old man cross the street. Help someone with their groceries. Do something to help your community. Do something to protect the United States of America. Okay, I'm going to end this here, guys, because this has been 42 minutes of ranting. 42 minutes ranting, because I have literally been sitting here watching my family post Facebook post after Facebook post about either side of the situation. And in all honesty, I'm tired of it, because in the end, yes, these people did not. The people that are the people like George Floyd, who were killed, who were killed by police. Yes, I'll say it again. Yes, that man did not deserve to die the way he died. However, destroying the United States, that is never, ever, ever going to be the way we change things. Oh my gosh, I'm stressed out. I am stressed and strung the hell out about the situation, about what's going on with the United States. I'm afraid that my grandpa or my uncle is going to get killed simply going to the grocery store nearby. Or maybe just going out into town, out into the city, and doing anything that they don't normally do, such as go to the casino, which is of course closed because of the. Everybody, please be safe. Please take care of your family. Take care of your friends. Please, please, stay within the law. And I know I'm likely to get hate comments or dislikes on this video. I don't care. I don't. Because what I'm speaking right now is a truth. The truth. Not my truth. The truth. The truth of all normal Americans. The truth of the police. The truth of the military. And I don't care what anybody says. Because destroying America, destroying people's property, destroying monuments of people of either good or bad people is not okay. And honestly, I am almost crying for America right now. So, yeah. For those of you that have stayed with me throughout this entire video, I know this video has to be long, but I had to get all this out. Thank you all for at least listening to what I had to say. Because honestly, I needed to get this off my chest. Really bad. Because this whole situation was actually starting to affect. I've been afraid that it was going to start affecting my health. But yeah. Thank you all for watching. And I'll catch you guys later.